Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Farid Qadhafi, and today I will explain to you about everyday English manners. Go to the slide. Okay, the first one is walking in public. Walking in public is one of our common activity in our life. We usually walking like walk to the school or maybe walk around the streets when you want to find some cafeteria or when you want to go to mall and etc. So there are something that you may have to be look out when you're working in public. So you have to be aware that you are not the only person in the world that walk in that street. Don't suddenly stop in the middle of the sidewalk. Try to pull aside first. Also, don't walk abreast on a sidewalk without ever yielding to others. Other people needs to walk there too. Don't fail to yield to disabled people. You cannot spot every person with disability, but the use of a cane, crutches, braces, walker, or a wheelchair is a giveaway, especially if you're walking up to the accessibility ramp or curb. So yeah, we go to the second one is queuing. Queues are something we experience all the time. It doesn't matter if you go to a supermarket, stop by a bank, visit the doctor, wait to the airport. You always have to do it. But there are some tips when you have to do it in the public. The first one is do not skip the line. Second one is respect other people. The third one is mind the personal space, and the last one is keep your anger low because these tips are important when you're in public and it can keep you from the problem that you don't want to have. So we go to the next one. Next one is handshakes. Okay, just like the picture I have displayed, it is a wrong activity of handshakes because shaking a person's hands allow you to establish your friendliness and accessibility. So whether you are meeting your neighbors or starting a new job at a new office, you can practice with your friends or family members before you start shaking the hands of strangers. Remember that people often initially judge you by your handshake. So yeah, make sure it shows your confidence and pleasant personality. So in the picture is a wrong way to do the handshakes. So I think some tips to do a good handshakes or maybe a better handshakes. The first one is stand and look the person into the eye. It means that you are what is you are a very serious person and you have some what is it some good feelings about your condition today. Second one is over a greeting before entering. A greeting like hello sir or hello miss, something like that. And the last one is handshake should last about 2 or 5 seconds. It doesn't take much time to do handshakes because it can be feel awkward for some people, but yeah, you can make it simple as you can. We go to the next one is hands manner, holding hands and etc. Just like you see on the people, there are two example of good hand manners, like hugging a girl or maybe a woman. And if two people are holding hands, they are holding hands each other nearest hand, usually while they are walking or sitting together. People often do this so their affection to each other, but there are some miscommunication or maybe misunderstanding in holding hands at public because it can disturb other people. So the important things to do is never disturb other person with your hand, the other hand, and maybe you can see the situation when you do the holding hands, or maybe just like the picture. If it is an older woman or maybe a younger girl, you can do your best hand if you can. So we go to the next one is mind your cat. Okay, actually, I want to combine the mind your PS and mind your PS here because practice good manners, be precise and careful in one behavior speech, as in what older people told us. Because among the more interesting theories is frankly that bartenders keep track of customer consumption in terms of bins. So I think it is important for you to know what is the meaning of mind your PS and your PS. Mind your PS here is mind your language or maybe mind your body language to people. It's the same with mind your PS here. For example, if you in the public and you do a bad manner and someone told you and please mind your PS, and then and the other one is mind your PS, someone will say mind your thank you. It's maybe it's just like some words that you might hear on England or maybe on USA because in Indonesia people didn't really do it. So we go to the next one is apologizing. Okay, apologizing is maybe some activity or maybe some manners that we do if we have some mistakes or we do a wrong action to people. So there are some tips that you might do if you want to apologize. The first one is admit yourself that you were wrong. This is often the hardest step in the process, so work on that before you move on. If you said something incorrect or that could be perceived as a gossip or gossip, think about what you should have said or left unsaid. If you did something wrong, you probably knew right away. The second one is admit your mistakes to other person. Once you know what you should have done or said, you can tell the person that you were wrong. Wish you could have do over and state what should have happened. Say you are sorry, or maybe I'm sorry, I won't do it again. And yeah, mean it. Most of people will accept an apology once, but if you don't mean it, your words will come across insincere. You probably make the same mistake on the other person may never correct you again. And the last one is don't make excuses. If you have an excuse for your action or words, your apology will come across and yeah, people may not accept it. Try to do this shows that you still don't feel that you were injured. Okay. So we go to the next one. The next one is discussing money. Most of people will agree that it's generally quite impolite to ask other details about their salary. If you ever been asked such question, you probably know that it can be unpleasant. But sometimes we don't really notice how our simple question or action can put other in awkward position. The good news is that these awkward situations can be avoided with the help of some simple money etiquette. So some words just like discussing the money. I think that it'll be better if you don't really do it with every people but try to do it if you have some close friends, or maybe your family, or maybe your good friends. Okay, we go to the next one is talking about weather. Talking about weather is some chit chat that usually happen in the society because English speakers, yeah, especially in England or USA, love to talk about the weather. It is the way of breaking the ice or maybe starting the conversation. So people talk about the weather on the phone and in person. Friends and family talk about the weather before they discuss what's new, what's the problem, what is the topic that they go into. So the coworkers talk about the weather before starting a hard day of work. Even stranger discuss the weather. Maybe me, probably when I go to England or USA, I want to ask where is the cafeteria, but I don't know who to ask. I may ask some strangers, and the easy way to open up conversation is talking about the weather. Like, oh, what do you think about the weather today? And the conversation will go on. So learn the proper vocabulary and expression, and it will be easier for you to start a conversation anytime, anywhere, with anyone you meet. And the next one is small talk. Small talk, just like the last one, the talking about the weather. But small talk usually when you have something to say to the people, just like in the picture. The good small talk is, sir, can we please put a little space between us? And the other one that may you not do it is the mayor says that masks are required in public spaces and you are violating the order. Wear your mask. So in a small talk, please use light language and also try to always find a topic such as movies topic that yeah that don't really hard to explain and listen. Okay, the next one is tipping. Tipping maybe isn't the uh, common thing in Indonesia because usually it happens in the USA, England, in Europe, and America. But we have to know about tipping. We all know that to tip servers 15% to 20%. But how about those working at a buffet? Even if they aren't serving your food, like bringing your food to your table, they'll still bring your beverage and cleaning your dishes. So I think the best way to tip when you're in the buffet is you should tip about 5% to 10% of the bill. So yeah, I think it's not really common for Indonesian people, but it is a very important thing to do when you're abroad in England, USA, and other country. The next one is bathroom manner. Using a clean bathroom can sometimes hurt, especially if it's common area. This can be your family home, office, restaurant, or even at a friend's house. Have you ever been in compromising situation with people bending the rules? So it is essential for you to observe etiquette, having in mind your comfort and the well-being of other person as well. So there are four tips that I will give to you. The first one is do not talk. Yeah, there are some misconception is that the bedroom gives a safe haven for you to talk to the other person or maybe to when you're in the bedroom you talk in phone. But it is not the best way to to go or maybe to do something in bathroom. So yeah, keep in mind that you don't have talk when you're in the bathroom. The second one is to not leave the toilet sit up. The third one is to place used up tissue paper and bedroom essential. And the last one is observe personal space. Just like what you said in the uh, picture at screen, yeah, there are no space between them. The better way is make your space between and like 1 meter or 2 meters, so people still have their privacy. Okay, so we go to the last one. It's table manner. Sorry. So table manners is uh, one of the important thing that you must know when you are in your friend's house, or maybe you're in the restaurant, or maybe you go visit your grandmother's house, etc. But in this case, I want to explain to you, and I want to mention the table manner in England. So the first one is, if you help your host lay the table, you put the fork face up on the left of the plate. The second one is, if there are many knives or forks on the table when you start eating, you must use the knife or fork that is the farthest away from your plate. So you took the farthest away. Okay. And the third one is, when eating toast or marmalade for breakfast, you must eat the toast, then drink your coffee. And when you're drinking, it is rude to drink noisily. The next one is, when sitting at the table and waiting for your meal, you put your hands under the table on your lap. So I think it doesn't imply if you put your hands on the table. And the last one, if you have finished with your soup before the last spoonful, you tilt the spoonful away from. So I think that is all for the topic today. I'm sorry if I have some mis misspelling, or maybe if I have mistakes in explaining the materials today. I'm sorry, and thank you for watching. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi